probably start working with the nursery at the nursery level to try to have trees as even as possible at the time of planting. Going up to remove cropping in first year to try to have equalized growth, to try to have trees as similar as possible, because this uneven spatial distribution or simply unevenness between trees will start the response, the biennial response, when there is chemical thinning, and it will start it, and maybe then it doesn't become a major issue, because there will always be probably more fruit to thin than not. But still, as we noticed before, there is a sort of compounding effect year by year, which could affect the tree in the longer term. So evenness of trees is extremely important. Another one that I could suggest is really understanding the spatial variability. And there are new technologies now, there are new systems in trying to really figure out what is the sort of mapping of your flowers, of your fruit, of your production, of your single trees, to try to adjust the responses to the tree more than the block and then the orchard. Effective some level of spur thinning in particular situation where there is a notice, for example, of too high numbers of clusters and flowers that you expect the growers expect they would coming up, or the opposite. If the grower notices that there are already the differentiation in zones, so some branches they become biennial, it's probably easier to remove that branch and train a new one than trying to ease that branch out of bienniality, because there is no really easing out of bienniality. The only thing a grower can try to do is to keep the number of fruit, especially the year that it goes in an on year, so there is an extreme, is to try to keep that number of fruit even and to the level that it would be natural. By this I mean, which is very important, this is an extremely important thing, the natural size of that fruit is the one that the breeder defined. So what the breeder normally says that fruit size should be, and not the one that the retailer asked. The moment that, as I mentioned before, that should never be done, is that the grower starts to adjust the size of the fruit by changing the number on a tree, because the natural size of that fruit would be too big for what the retailer are asking. Then you started your trees in bienniality.